first live I'm doing. Shout out to everybody out there. Thank you to everybody that subscribed to my page. Thank you for the people that liked, comment. Thank you to even the people that gave me negative comments. Now, with me starting this YouTube page, I said I want to open people's minds, heart, and souls. I want to take people from the physical world and bring them into a spiritual world. Because as we see today, the world that we living in, it's confusion. It's a whole bunch of confusion. And some people are down pressed. Some people are depressed. Some people are filled with destruction. But you have to stay fast where you understand the common goal of life. Not humans, but of life. Because one thing humans will do is argue all day, every day. And some humans will never come up with a solution. When you come up with a solution, big up open-minded. When you come up with a solution, you can fix the problems that you're going through. But as we all see, many people, they just like to stay in the mix, stay in the mix, like making Kool-Aid or something. You got all the sugar on the bottom. You filling it up with Kool-Aid. You fill it up with water. And you just taking that spoon and you mixing it around, mixing it around, mixing it around. And when you come out with a full jug, this is what we're living in. A full jug of a whole bunch of nonsense. And I'm not going to never sugarcoat things in this world because I don't know how to sugarcoat things. I don't know how to put things where people could like it so you could like me. I am not into that. I am into just being myself, or like I always say, I'm into being Delvin. I know how to be Delvin. That's the only thing I know how to be, and that's the only person or being I know how to be is myself. I am comfortable with myself, and I love being myself. And I try all my life to make people find themselves too. Okay? Because the best thing in life that you could find within this life of humans is yourself. The strongest thing you could find is yourself. You know, I don't get where people will think that you live a life for so long and you don't know who you is, or you don't even know the humans around you. Like we have to start realizing, and why I always say we have to start realizing, because I seen a era that passed away. And I told my big brother today, I don't think this era will come back. I seen an era in life where I grew up in the South Bronx. And even though the South Bronx was tough, there's many things that the South Bronx taught me that was positive, okay? And I'll tell you a few of them. The South Bronx taught me about family, taught me about loyalty. It taught me about love. It taught me about the same people you went to school with and fought with. Those are the same people that you're going to know when you're a teenager. Those are the same people that you may know when you're a higher teenager. And those are the same people you're going to know when you are a young man and young woman growing up in this world. Okay? It's many people that I know from elementary school, from junior high school, and from high school. And some people went off on the long run where, yeah, we may not talk no more. But I don't study the negative parts. I study the parts of the people that I still talk to, the people that I still ramp with, you know? Okay, we're going to switch it now. I gave the South Bronx respect. Now I'm going to give respect to a second place where I grew up at, Brooklyn. Now I'm going to get back to what the Bronx gave me in positive. Just stick with me. Now, I grew up in Brooklyn as well. First place I lived at in Brooklyn was Bedford Stuyvesant. Now, me growing up as a little kid, I thought the Bronx was the world. I didn't think it was no place better than the Bronx. But when I moved to Brooklyn, yeah, it had its rough times. I had some rough times growing up in Brooklyn, but Brooklyn taught me how to survive. Brooklyn taught me how to live. And Brooklyn taught me that it's a bigger world out there. And when I say a bigger world out there, when you grow up in New York City, you may be sectionized to your borough. And I was very Bronx biased growing up. That's all I thought about was the Bronx, the Bronx, the Bronx. But years after years of me living in Brooklyn, what I learned from Brooklyn was very much cultural, okay? A big West Indian section in Brooklyn, from Flatbush to Bed-Stuy, Crown Heights, Bushwick. So one thing that I love though that Brooklyn taught me about expanding the world, my mother and father always taught me and my brother about Africa and this world. But when I moved to Brooklyn, I learned about Africa much more. I learned about the motherland much more. It was more widespread. It was much more where I learned different countries in Africa. I learned that Africa was even more greater from what I thought I knew in the Bronx of growing up. And don't matter where you go at in Brooklyn, you will see people proud to be from Brooklyn. And one thing you could say about Brooklyn people are very proud of Brooklyn. You know, like I'm from the Bronx, but my favorite artist in hip hop music, rap music, is Biggie Smalls. Okay? Big Pun is next, you know, but Biggie Smalls is my artist. He's the one who, from listening to his music, I learned how to write even more. I learned to write from Biggie Smalls and Michael Jackson. Okay, we're going to get off of Brooklyn for now. Now, we're going to get on to the topic of Rastafari. Now, I'm going to put it plain and simple. Yes, Rastafari sparked out of Jamaica. And shout out to you, Lucy. Big up, man. Much love. Much love. Rastafari started in Jamaica and it sparked out of Jamaica. You know? And a lot of people like to tell different stories and different tales. But the heartbeat of Rastafari starting in Jamaica is the downtrodden that the people seen, the downtrodden that the people went through. Some people think that, yeah, it was only slavery in America or in Africa only. But let me be the first one to tell you, or let me be one of many to tell you, it was slavery with melanated people all around this world, okay? America was just the place that they flagship slavery. But you had slavery in the Caribbean islands that was just as worse as American slavery. So when people want to not overstand slavery in the Caribbean islands, let me tell you, Caribbean people been through pain as well. Okay? And that's one reason why Rastafari started. That's one reason why Rasta started. Okay? Because the pain of the melanated people. Okay? Pain and glory is two things that we share in this world as black people, as melanated people, as brown people. And some people may never understand that, and some people may overstand it. But that's one thing that I don't play with in this world. You do not play with our pain. Okay? Now, for a lot of people that thinking Rasta is just about smoking weed, nah. Rasta was never just about smoking weed. Okay? We study, we pray, we think, we eat healthy, and we don't look to harm people. Okay? We don't look to hurt people. But let me tell people something when I say all of that just now. Because I've been seeing this for like the past 10 years. And this been happening before I was born. Just because Rasta preach peace and love, don't ever, don't ever, don't ever think that you could punk or you can disrespect a Rasta. Big up to you, Angie, baby. Shout out. Much love. Bless up. Don't ever think that you can disrespect any Rasta in this world. Like our meekness is soft. Because let me give you something for real. A lot of the pain that we've been through, if you thinking that somebody is soft that's a Rasta one day, you may get that same pain. Okay? So just think about that. I don't like how the world of some people would like to think that they could do wrong to people and people don't have no way of fighting back. No, no. And I'm going to tell that to everybody in the world. It is no more where you're going to look and live in a world where people are being done wrong. And when they look to fight back mentally, spiritually, or physically, you tell them that they're wrong. You do not beat somebody down like that. Okay? Because the beating that they already took, you ain't never experienced that. And the manipulation game that you would want to run on their mind, that is not right. That is not correct. That is not humane. Okay? Now, my next topic. America, oh America. Oh sweet America. Mm-mm-mm-mm-mm-mm. You did a lot. And when I say you did a lot, it's like when we say in the hood, when you OD'd, okay? You overdid it. Because we are living in a modern day society right now in 2025 in America, where what I just said, where you can do wrong to people and when they fight back or speak up about it, they're wrong. Okay. You have this man in the White House that they call Donald Trump. And as I always put it, if him and his friends think it's okay to do many different things in the United States and around the world like they're doing, it's not going to go. It's not going to go. Because you have to remember, it's you the one who's using the God, in God you trust. So I wonder when you use in God you trust, I'm not going to say I wonder which God you're talking about, but I will say, how dare you put God on back of your dollar bills, on back of your money, on back of your currency? How dare you use that name, G-O-D? And this is for people, whether you believe in a God or whether you don't believe in a God. But I'm going to use the positive side of believing in a God or knowing a God. You put him back of the dollar bill, in God we trust. Now, what are you talking about? What do you mean? What are you saying? Because you had a time in America where you thought us black people and other melanated people was 3/4 of a human. And I was born in 1984, and I am going to say right now in 2025, Who do you think you are fooling and who do you think you're talking to? That's the thing. They ran a game on people, and don't matter what color you are, don't matter what you consider yourself as in pigmentation. This game that they're running in America, they ran it around the whole world. And when they talk about world powers, hmm, hmm, hmm. Well, if America, India, Russia, if those are world powers in the world, right? Before there was any world powers or had any dominance, when Africa was united, Africa was solid. You don't forget when you broke Africa up from excuse me, the British, like y'all split. Oh, Italy, I ain't forget about you either. You had your hand in to do with breaking up Africa. Now, a lot of people probably thought that was correct. And one thing that I want melanated people to understand, that wasn't right. Even though we was born in different places around the world, like for example, Puerto Rico, Brazil, America, the Dominican Republic, Jamaica, many different places we were shipped to. And this is why you call yourselves these different names today. Let me really tell you something to understand, people. That they want to think that we are the bottom. But trust me, we are not the bottom for them for no reason. Because if we wasn't so great, they wouldn't do all the things they did. They wouldn't do all the things they did. They wouldn't have, I can't use the R word, but they wouldn't have take Africa riches. And when I mean the riches, her people, okay? Her people. Because whether a lot of my melanated people want to say some of them was here in the Americas, let me tell you something. It's a big majority of people that's from Africa that was shipped around. So I understand where people that was here in America first that was melanated. But you better understand that the people that were shipped from Africa all around the world. Okay? So do not try to change history. Now, Mr. Trump, you think that you could talk trash to other countries, and you think these other countries won't do the same to America? What you have to understand and what you have to really get, you talking trash to other countries, the only people are going to pay for this is the American citizens. And the American citizens that are going to pay for it the worst are the people that you call lower class or middle class. Okay? Now, I wouldn't say he better come to an understanding and him and his friends better come to an understanding, because they will never come to an understanding of what treating humans like humans is. They don't know what that is. Okay, my next one. Africa, the continent Africa. We got over 50 countries in Africa. And yes, it's been divided throughout time. Africa has been divided. Africa had a lot of civil wars. Africa had a lot of fighting. But I am very proud. I am very, very proud of what's going on in Africa right now. Ghana, Kenya, Zimbabwe, and South Africa is leading the way to make Africa unite. So all the people around the world that have love for Africa, let me tell you, you throw that energy towards that. Because when Africa unite, you will see a better world on earth. You will see things change. Because it wouldn't be rulership of where the Caucasian man is ruling things. Okay? Now, my next person that I'm going to get on, because my cousin told me years ago, leave Elon Musk alone. No. I may not leave a person like him alone, because you could just look at him and you could see the demon inside of him. You could look at him and see the treachery. I don't care how nobody feel about this, but I don't see good in him. And he may be born in South Africa, but understand this, he is not South African. He is not from the South African blood. Okay? He is not from that bloodline. Thank you to everybody that joined my live. Shout out to everybody. I really appreciate everybody that tapped in. I appreciate everybody that came and hit the like button. Trust and believe. I really do appreciate the little things that people do on this social media joint. So with that, I'm going to say peace out, open-minded. Shout out to you, Elder. Angie Baby, shout out to you. Lucy, shout out to you. Big up and lion love. God bless y'all.